My mom and dad, it was actually my dad and brother, would tell me a story about little tractors. Can I show you my favorite tractor? This is my very first tractor. That tractor has been used. That tractor is 65 years old. Can I tell you a story about tractors that my dad would tell me? It's called the Three Little Tractors, not the Three Little Pigs, but Three Little Tractors, okay? And there is a big daddy tractor, okay, a mommy tractor, and a baby tractor. And on the farm I grew up with, we had all three of those tractors. And the daddy tractor was a big orange one, and it was a strong tractor, and it had 45 horsepower in those days, okay? The mommy tractor was a red tractor, and it was an international harvester, like that red one over there, okay? And then there was a little baby tractor that was a little orange one, and it was a little girl actually, and her name was Alice. Her last name was Chalmers, Alice Chalmers. Got it? So mommy tractor, daddy tractor, baby tractor. And do you think they all had a job to do? They did.
Yeah.
They all had a job to do.
Yeah.
The big daddy tractor, he would pull a great big plow, and he would go out in the fields and plow the ground and get it ready to plant corn and potatoes. Do you guys like potatoes and corn? Okay. And would plant grass pastures and raise beef. Do you guys like hamburgers? Stuff like that? Roast beef, jerky, all that kind of stuff?
Yummy.
Okay. Because the cows would eat those things. But the big daddy tractor was responsible for the big, heavy work. And sometimes out in the field it would get wet. So remember that. Sometimes it gets wet. And what happens when it gets wet and you're in the dirt? Things get stuck. Right? They sink in the mud really deep. Well, Mama Tractor, what was her job? She would go out into the field once the crops were like this tall and would harvest the food, the corn and the potatoes and all of those good things, and haul them in so they could be sold and be made into food that you and I would eat. Okay, what do you think the baby tractor's job was? It was the little jobs. The little baby orange tractor, it had a little cutter blade, so it would go out and it would cut the fields so we could make hay. And then the hay you feed to the cows in the wintertime when there's no food. And the other thing that the little tractor would do would be help out around the house. If a water line broke, it would dig up the water line. So they each had a major job to do. Well, one day, guess what happened? It was wet in the field, and the big daddy tractor got stuck, sunk way in the mud, and it would just spin its wheels, and it could not go anywhere, and Daddy was struck. So what do you think happened? Mama Tractor said, let's go pull Daddy Tractor out. So Mama Tractor goes out, pull out Daddy Tractor, and they hook up with a big long rope. We actually call them a chain. And Mama Tractor and Daddy Tractor tries to get out of the mud. And guess what happened to Mama Tractor? She got stuck in the mud. And it was terrible. And little baby tractor was over here a ways. I thought, oh my goodness, Mom and Dad were stuck in the mud. They're going to be there a long time. And how are we ever going to function? How can we be a family if they're all stuck? So guess what baby tractor did? It drove over in front of Mama Tractor, and then Daddy Tractor's here, and hooked another chain up, and all three of them worked together, and all at once they popped out of the mud. Daddy Tractor, Mama Tractor, and Baby Tractor was the tough one and saved the day.
Ooh.
Yeah, so remember the story of the three little tractors. And so kind of the same thing with